Howdy, Beaver Lombard here, and welcome. This is Armored Warfare. Okay, so, been wanting to get back into doing some tank versus tank combat, and, well, as many of you know, I really don't give a damn about World of Tanks anymore because of the garbage players that you find in most battles. And honestly, I like Tank Warfare, and I think World of Tanks would have been a good game, but they just don't keep tabs on their players good enough. But the downside is, Armored Warfare, it is an awesome game, but it has kind of a low population count, which I hope will, not be a thing, because I want more and more people to take a look at this game and understand how good it actually is. So, quickly I'm going to run through my garage, and I've got everything running at 1080p and maximum settings. So, should look pretty good overall. I know that I'm streaming in 720p, so forgive me. My internet sucks. But anyway, my current garage, what I've got in my garage right now, this is the M41 Walker Bulldog. This is a Tier 1. I'm going to start from Tier 1 and work my way up. And yes, I do have a Tier 10, which is your max level. PT-76, also Tier 1. One of the upsides of Armored Warfare that I'll say right now versus World of Tanks is you don't have to buy a garage slot. You want to buy a freaking tank? Buy a freaking tank. You don't have to pay for space in your garage. Alright, so light tank, I'm going to move to Type 62 light tank. Not bad, fun little tank. You know, the T-Series, dude. You can complain about your Russians, this and that and everything else, but you know what? They made damn good weapons. Lovely tanks. They're good for more than just that, too. But, alright, let's move along to, I've got a Tier 2. This is an armored fighting vehicle. Lightweight. It's a little bit different when you're used to running a tank going to a wheeled vehicle. You actually have a different method of steering, and you actually have to be moving to be able to get it to steer. And M48A3. This will be a Tier 10 tank in World of Tanks, but it's just a Tier 2 over here. Scimitar, whatever you want to say. Not bad, kind of fun. You know, I'm going to quickly just go through these. I'm not going to focus really heavy on all these. T-55 main battle tank, very iconic throughout the world. T-92, I like the concept, like the idea of it, kind of cool. Type 69. And here's the unusual thing here is this Abbott VE Premium artillery piece is a Tier 3. However, there's also a Tier 4 Abbott. BMD-1, the little brother of the BMB. Let's see, Dragon IS-7, which again would have been a Tier 10 tank in World of Tanks. Leopard 1, nice little tank. M108 artillery. I'm going to try to move quickly through here, and then we'll get into a fight. So OT-65, not bad. Scorpion has its fun. A T-62 instead of the Type 62. And this is a main battle tank in Tier 3. Type 59-2, which is pretty comparable to what you would think of as the Type 59 from World of Tanks. Also premium in both, but this is a Tier 3. XM800 Law, and it gets its name from a little M72 light anti-tank weapon, the Law rocket being strapped to the side of it. It has its fun. Chieftain, not a bad tank. M113 ACAV, nice, but I would have rather have had the tow version. M60A1, fun tank. Jamila, believe it or not, is actually kind of fun. Scorpion 90, which is another Scorpion variant. And, of course, the Sheridan, which is going to be a Tier 5. Starship. Playing cooperatively, this tank has the ability to have so much freaking fun. I've had a lot of good battles with the Starship. Excuse me. M1 Abrams. This is the Chrysler version, the first version. Well, this is actually the Chrysler version. The XM1, which is a premium. You got the M60 2000, which is an Abrams turret on an M60 platform. Merkava, which is a premium. Love it. Great tank. A lot of fun. T80U Shark. This was a premium. A limited availability premium. You got T90A. Sorry, but you look at it this way, it looks like you got two eyes and nose and kind of a mouth going on there. Decent tank. Terminator 2 is a fun tank. I love it, but in Tier 9, it's rare to get a battle. And Tier 10, also rare to get a battle. T14 Armada, my first Tier 10. Love it. It is a really, really good brawling tank. So, quick look at the when you're wanting to actually buy new tanks. Alright, let's see. Vehicles, here we go. They changed it around a little bit. But you have your different tech trees like you do in World Tanks. You've got Wolfie. Wolfie is one of the vendors. Instead of buying it by the country, or this is the German tech tree, or the American tech tree, or Japanese, or whatever, it's done by vendors. And this particular vendor, they sell this particular type of vehicles, including the American line of main battle tanks going up through the XM1A3. You've got German line. Then you've got you'll have like armored fighting vehicles and wheeled destroyers, and you got a whole diverse range of vehicles here. They keep changing the tech trees around, so I'm kind of relearning how the game looks and runs. And I've been trying to get back into the American line and working up that. And you've got the Shishkin, which is another line here. This is the one that's got the T14 Armada, T90 MS, the Terminator 2. Now what happens is when you're leveling through here, you get to level 8 and you're going to level 9. Just because you finished off with a T90A doesn't mean you have to get the T90 MS. You get what's called a Tier 9 token. Use that Tier 9 token to be able to purchase whatever you want from the Tier 9 line. In this case, I bought the Terminator 2, but I could have just as well bought either of those two. Once you finish through leveling up your Tier 9 to get a Tier 10, you get a Tier 10 token, and I cashed mine in to get the T14 Armada. Now, just because you have a Tier 10 token doesn't mean you get it for free. If you want to get this particular tank, you still got to pay the 22,950,000 credits to be able to get it. So, just because you have the credits, you can't get it unless you have the token. So, you got to work back and forth. And I used my one token to be able to get the Terminator 2. So now I have to unlock another line all the way to Tier 9 to get another Tier 9 token so that I can get the next Tier 9, and same thing for the next Tier 10. So, yes, the PL01, pretty cool. Alright, the next line, Zenfeng. They've kind of reformatted this one, and they folded in, at one point, the artillery to it. And kind of odd. It's still there, so you have to run through from Tier 3 all the way up in Tier 10. These are linked. I'm not sure how that's supposed to work. If you unlock this one, do you get this one also? But they've also turned PvE only for artillery, so there is no more artillery in PvP mode. For better or for worse, that's just one of the things that they chose to do. You got some other premiums you can buy here, and then you've got Oscar Faraday, which is something new, and I don't know anything about these. This is something relatively new. It starts at Tier 5. Vehicle Block 1 prerequisites. I'm assuming you'd have to go through just like you do on some of the other vehicles to unlock them, to be able to get them. Where you see in a random battle, deal 75,000 damage using light tanks in Tier 5 plus. In PvE mode, deal 600,000 damage using a light tank, Tier 5 plus. And if you were to do that, then it should give you your unlock for that. Like some of the conditions that I've had on some of the vehicles on the M60 going to the M60A3, or there was one of them that was a conditional set that to be able to unlock that one, you had to actually do, instead of performing X number amount of damage, you had to absorb or deflect X number amounts of damage. So you had to get shot in order to be able to keep on going. Alright, so like this one, the vehicle prerequisite is to earn essentially XP. So you can look like in this one right here. So now if you wanted to be able to get this particular vehicle, then you're going to have to either deal 600,000 in PvE mode, GOPS mode 300,000 damage, or deal 75,000 damage in a random battle. So that's kind of cool. Action wise, okay, let's actually, I'm in a tier 10. Let's see if I can actually get into a battle. If I click on action, it's going to show the waiting times. And I'm set on operation. So let's hide this. Operation Leviathan, I don't know anything about it. Season 1, Chapter 1, Special Operation. Alright, so they have changed a few things here, and it shows that I'm already in queue for it. This is on joint PvE missions. Operation Harbinger. Alright, so let's see what this actually does here. I'm probably going to act like a noob here because I don't know what I'm doing in this particular one. But this is based off of the map Operation Banshee. The Lions of Nequial. Today's drink of choice is Sprite Cherry. Bump my volume down just a little bit so I'm not bleeding through the microphone. Don't usually have any problems with it, but you guys are gonna let me know. Alright, capture the oil refinery and control the pump station. We got a Terminator XM1A3. We have that, what the hell is that? Comet EM. And another Terminator. If I didn't know this was going to be a Terminator battle, I'd have brought my Terminator. Alright, so understanding the armor process, this isn't World of Tanks, so the deflection and damage and so forth is going to be different. Kind of hoping to get a shot over the train cars here. Bradley. Blocking his tow missiles, so that's a good thing. Hit my turret, so... Alright, we got another Bradley over here. This wasn't really a bad choice. Alright, so that's an officer. So their tanks are going to be more damage. And they'll take more damage than a regular tank will. Alright, I'm gonna have to move. Not really getting the damage that I want on him, and now these Terminators are pretty damn tough too. But I am in a main battle tank, and I should be taking a few more hits for the team. Yikes. That's 3 hits on that guy and did no damage to it whatsoever. XM 183. Let's see if I can get in trouble over here.
Yes, good. The lines will counterattack, but you must hold.
So secondary.
Identify target. Hostile tank.
Yeah, probably not good here. I'm all alone. Overmatched. They're improving the armor mechanics in the game too.
Now, yes, I've got a shot. Reloading. These lions want to fight for this place.
The team here is getting behind.
Target down. They nailed us. Flash out. Target immobilized.
Taking a lot of damage here.
ATS up. Flash up.
Now I can actually repair. I've got, since it is PvE mode, I do have the ability to repair. And I cannot hit him above.
Site repaired.
Alright, so we still have 1,933 hit points. So. MX-10, Slide Skin, Type 99.
Target destroyed.
Alright. That's the rear cleared.
Target destroyed.
Alright, so... I got one more guy hiding back here in the rear.
Identify. Hostile tank.
Alright, I don't think he's gonna make it.
No effect.
Yikes. Type 99A. So, yeah, a whole different level of mechanics in World of Tanks. Got no shot here. I'm gonna have to push up and get him. Don't get him out, he's gonna sit here and be a pain in the ass and shoot us in the ass.
Target destroyed.
Alright, so that's it. The rest of the guys went in and capped. So that's a typical battle. Well, atypical. You don't always get a win. Alright, so that is a regular PvE battle. Didn't take long to actually get a battle, and that's probably because here in the US on the North American servers, school's out, so there's going to be a lot more children playing the game right now. So at least going to get you more tanks to shoot at. Whether or not you can get a PvE battle, a PvP battle or not, that's unknown. But I did get some hits here. 6 kills. Kill assist. Damaging enemies. You got all these different things here. And I'm just going to go back to home. And bonus points if anybody can point out something that's a blatantly obvious, or no, not blatantly obvious, but something that's in common with a lot of my tanks. And hang on 1 second. Alright, so back into their game. Sorry, I had to tab out for just a moment. So that's T-14 Armada. It is a freaking slugger. Terminator 2. Okay. I like the tank. You've got twin autocannons, and you've got 4 missile launchers, or rocket launchers. Pretty damn sick. Now, here's a nice little thing you can do, is if you're actually wanting to, well, I don't know, see which tank you like. Is it going to be worth my effort to get this tank or this tank? Oh, yeah. I was talking in one of the other channels about this. This is very similar to, which I'm going to go ahead and go into it. You can right click on the tank and preview, but you can also go to vehicle testing area. What vehicle testing area is, you can do that with any tank, whether you've got it unlocked or not. If you can see it in that list of tanks that are there, you can actually go into it and actually play around in this vehicle testing area with it. Use the guns, try it out against different armor, different ranges. Just play with it, you know, in a solo environment, naturally. So essentially, this is a, well, it's not exactly what I wanted, but a 113 based vehicle that we had in the Army in my days, called the 901 Hammerhead, and I guess it's a close compromise. What it was is a rocket launching.
Target locked on.
I don't know. A 113 with a twin tow tube system on it, and I'm saying that I would rather have it than the versions that we have in game now.
Enemy destroyed.
Quite potent, as you can see. 829 damage
Target's gone.
per rocket. You got 2 rockets, and you got a brief reload time. So this is the proving grounds. You can get out here, drive around. Now, one thing about these are guided missiles, but they are player guided. So you actually have to shoot them and aim them. And that meaning, if you look downrange down over here, I don't know if it's going to be visible for you guys, but there's a target downrange. And when you go to fire, you can actually steer the missile around, and it will aim wherever your crosshairs hit. In this case, I can be moving. As long as my crosshairs stay on target, I can still guide it in and take it out that way. So, if you got a moving target, as long as you're in a good hide, you can sit there and, oh, there's my target. I can aim, bang, and you can move, or they can be moving, and it won't matter. It has its uses. Now, if I right-click into a target lock, I'm aimed over here, and it's not going to work. I actually have to maintain my aim at the target. So if you're using a regular gun, then yeah, you can actually right-click on a target and shoot while you're on the move. That doesn't work with this. You actually have to maintain your crosshair manually on target.
Target destroyed.
But as you can see, it's well worth it because you'll knock their dick in the dirt. So if y'all got questions, just speak up. But you can see the, and I'll shoot one more salvo and then we'll get out of this tank. And you can do it rapid fire. You can see 2 quick shots. That Leopard 1A5 was just about killed. You can hit escape and you can go to quit battle, confirm, and head back and check out other vehicles. So that's a great way to test out a tank, if you just want to goof off and play around on that. Or do I really want to pursue going down that particular tech tree? And package received. Oh, okay. So you get gold supply crates. You get different supply crates. Now, thing is, you don't have to buy keys for them. Some games you have to, you get all these crates and caches and junk, but you got to buy keys. No, these you actually can open. You get these for doing certain things within battle. And what do we get for this one? Gold crew insignia, 40% bonus to crew XP. Pretty nice. And 500,000 credits. Equally nice. So, as I was saying about this, if you just say, oh, is it worth going down the artillery tech tree to be able to get this tier 10 artillery piece? It's only good for PvE. Well, you can always do that same feature and go into the vehicle testing area by right-clicking on the image of the tank and selecting preview area or vehicle testing area, and you can actually go into it and try it out and see what the artillery is like. I like it. I still play artillery from time to time, but you can only do it in PvE mode. Now,
Identified. Hostile. Tag.
you could try doing a direct fire mode, but you do have an over-the-top artillery mode, just like you would with World of Stank. And we're gonna check this really far out target here. Pretty good overall. Reload time, pretty fair. Now we know that these dots here are actually tanks there. You can see the icon for them and see what they actually are. We know there's one right here as well. So let's actually try for this one. We know we can't see it.
That was close.
308 damage on a close hit. We didn't actually hit him, but okay, respectable. That should have done damage, but it didn't.
That was close.
Yeah. So let's actually aim at one that we can see. And think about it, it used to be a direct hit, 187. Let's see if we can hit him on the front. 651. I guess it could be worse. And let's deliberately try to hit the side. Yeah. You still want to get close enough with them. You want to try to hit them with it. So that's the thing, is you do have really, really good range, but you have to keep in mind obstructions, especially you get a lot of heavily curved maps and heavy terrain and lots of buildings and stuff like that, and your usability is going to be very diminished. So can they be useful in PvE? Yeah, a little bit, but the game just doesn't lend itself very well to actual artillery gameplay, but they can serve a purpose. If you're dedicated enough to actually run them, then yeah, you could probably do it. I don't play them nearly as much as I would like with open field maps like used to have in World of Tanks. They used to be more functional, but just not as much anymore. Too many people complain about artillery because, oh no, you can sit there in one spot, and when you could play in PvP mode, what would happen, even in PvE you'll notice it, what'll happen is when you fire your artillery, not only does it, you get like the little tracer that comes across like a World of Tanks, oh, there's where he was, no, it actually illuminates your tank on the frickin' map for about 2 seconds. So if you think you're in the right area and they fire, you'll physically see their vehicle, and that allows you to really dial in your shot and do counter battery work. So this is the Terminator, and what I'll do is I'll just screw around with it for just a second, and we'll try to get a battle with it. So the main guns on this are really not that powerful, but you know, if you're trying to make turret hits, just not going to happen. Especially against other tier 9s and tier 10s. And when you do finally get to a spot where you can do some penetration damage, you see you're only doing 40 and 50 damage per shot. So you're going to have to sit there for quite some time. Now, with ATGMs, you can switch over to that. And yeah, you're going to get some damage. Not 100% guarantee you're going to get damage, but on that one, while you're reloading, you have a 21-second reload. I'm going to put incendiaries out. I've got 1 round, so no penetration whatsoever. Now, you have infinite ammo while you're in this test mode. So I'm going to try doing some... You see, there was a tank, and then it disappeared. See, you're doing a hell of a lot less damage with the incendiary rounds. But if you hit something that you're actually going to get good penetration on, you hit the appropriate area, you can actually set them on fire with these. But the chance of actually doing it is pretty slim. Anyway, I'm shooting this guy directly in the back. Let's try for the Bradley. Now, as you can see, he's got the reactive armor plates on the side. They're going to protect him until they're gone. Change ammo types here. And not about you guys, but I lost sound there. Now, this is a light vehicle. It's just not going to be able to hold up to it. And lost sounds. It has its use. It's fun. I really like this tank. It's not for everybody. But you can't necessarily look at the tanks and roll with them based on looks. The PL-01, I think, is probably one of the sexiest looking modern tanks that's out there in the world. And if you're not familiar with the PL-01 in any way, shape, or form, let's roll with it. PL-01 is it was initially developed in trying to generate a stealth series, or some way of becoming stealth. You know, with stealth and a tank, that usually doesn't go hand in hand. Usually it's camouflage. But the whole point was that they were going to try to use an active camo system where, like, LCD type displays are on the outside of the tank. So it would, like, whatever you see as you're looking this way, it projects it on the other side of the tank. So it's not really invisible, but it's just showing video feed from the opposite side of the other vehicle. It's what the concept was. So you have a lot of flat faceted areas here. But it is considered to be a light tank because it's meant for movement, and it's meant for just hit it and quit it. It's not meant for actually taking the hits. It's meant for coming over here, hiding in a bush, and praying that they never see you. So once you're hidden in that bush, you can then wreak havoc on your targets. And that's what it was designed for. Alright, so it's reloading the magazine here. Not sure if this is using a progressive magazine or not, but you see the reload time? It's actually firing from a magazine instead of actually firing from fire a shot, load a shot. Progressive magazine would be fire a shot, reload a shot. Now, if I were to leave it alone, technically it should continue to reload if it was a progressive. That's just a standard magazine type. So you actually have to wait for it to reload all the rounds in the canister, and then it can fire again. So that's ups and downs of that. But once it's loaded, though, I mean, you've got fire a shot, got about 3 seconds of time between each shot. So that's pretty respectable overall. This is a great tank overall, as long as you can avoid getting hit. And as you saw in that PvE battle, it's not always easy to keep from getting hit. I like a slugger. I like a tank that I can take hits with. So I'm actually going to go down in tier, even though I love running my high tier tank. And just because you get a tier 10 doesn't mean it's maxed out. You still have things to do to max it out. But, you know, I could run a premium tank and use gold to convert with and that kind of stuff, but I'm not gonna. Let's see here. We are on the M1 Abrams. Is the highest tier, which is tier 6. We could experiment with the light tanks, but let's actually go into a battle with this. And we're in operation mode. Inside the queue, it's saying an average time of 1 minute. Global Ops. There's random battles and Global Ops. There was the Global Ops, which I hope is getting more use right now. When you're playing in PvE mode, or PvP mode, excuse me, and you go into the new mode that they came out with about a year ago, essentially you have respawns. It was a lot of fun. It was a really good thing that they had it in there, but nobody was playing on the North American server, and the game just wasn't making any headway. Really good, really cool, enjoyed it. But the one thing about the PvE mode here, though, is you could always find battles faster in PvE mode because there was more people that came here for that, instead of World of Stank, where you're limited to PvP only. You had an option. You could do PvP or PvE, and I like both. But there's times where I just want to play PvE, or I want to play cooperative, or I want to get together with one of my buddies and say, hey, let's go here and do some co-op stuff and just blow up some tanks. We'll see if we can actually get one more battle, and then we'll kind of call it quits on this game for now. But the game is absolutely a lot of fun. It's well worth checking out. There's a lot of cool game modes in it. A lot of cool tanks to work with. It's well worth the money. It's free to download. It's free to play. So, you know, there's nothing stopping you. Get out there. It does not take long to go from tier 1 to tier 5. I promise. In fact, what I may end up doing is setting up an alternate account, starting at tier 1. Nothing. No premiums, no premium credits, no gold, no nothing. Just hop right in and play it as a tier 1 and experience it all over again, which I like doing. So, I think what I'll probably end up doing is I'll take a break here in a little bit. Since it appears there is people in here playing, I need to go cook here very shortly, so I'll do that, make sure Mama eats, and then I'll create a new account, and I'll start with I'll start from scratch, and I will stream it from the get-go, as if I'm a brand new player to the game. Not just the noob that I actually am. Capture town square, defend town square, and destroy satellite and recon trucks. And what do we got? We got a Challenger Wolf, we got a BMD, Type 96, and a Ramka. From this mode, from what I remember, get across the bridge, look to the right, start blowing shit up.
Black Company, move into the town square. The Lions of Necriel are trying to take the town, forcing citizens.
Normally I like to hang back a little bit and wait. I don't like to be the first one across the bridge, just because everybody's going to try to cram on top of each other.
Are in the area. It's a bit out of your way, but if you can take them out, they'll lose their eyes and ears in this battle.
So, usually end up having a good fight right here.
Hostile target marked.
Yeah, light tanks can actually mark targets, and you'll get to do bonus damage against them when they're marked.
Loader, Sabo.
See, that's the thing, is a Ramka 99, it is a parasitic killer. It doesn't do very much damage,
Target locked on.
but it is great at stealing kills. Really? And M1 couldn't take out a Sheridan? So yeah, if you're into stealing kills and getting your numbers padded so you can get really high amounts of kills. Oh, I got 15 kills that battle. Yeah, because you waited until they were at 100 health and you shoot them twice and kill it. Yeah, you can do the same thing with the Terminator, but that's the thing, is they're parasitic killers.
Target destroyed.
Whereas, you know, the big tanks, the main battle tanks, they're going to dish out one good hard hit, and then they got a reload time. Way to go, dipshit. Shot your own fucking teammate in the side.
Identify target.
Alright, Ramka, go ahead and steal your kill.
Enemy destroyed.
What? You didn't steal the kill?
Identify. Hostile PC.
What usually happens with the Ramkas is they're good for just coming in and just stealing people's kills. But it is nice to get the extra damage that they do. Shit, I was leading his ass and he just rolled right past me. Oil well. If a teammate dies,
Identify.
you lose a bonus.
PC.
Wasted a shot because the Ramka stole the kill. Yay. Don't get me wrong, I like the Ramka. It's like the low tier version or tier 8 version of the Terminator. It's a fun tank to play with. It's satisfying to be able to sit there and spit out shells.
Identify target. Hostile tank.
Like I said, they tend to be parasites, and most people that play them for long periods of time, they become parasites. They do it because they know that they can pad their numbers. And yes, I've only got one type of ammo here. It is good to carry a diverse type of ammo. Squash, heat, whatever, you know, because sometimes, you know, you just got to get good penetration on armor, and you're just not going to get it with every type of round. Son of a beach. Alright, so this Wingfire's got to go. He's annoying the crap out of me. Alright. My reload time is horrible right now. I should have first aid kits and stuff like that, but I don't. Oh, finally you guys are doing something productive and actually capping. You can fail because people will sit there and focus in on killing tanks instead of actually capping. Right now we have to cap. Get on Cap, you parasitic piece of shit. Now, I do have my repair kit, so if I do get killed, I can come back to life again. That Ramco could have very easily have just gone over there and fired a couple shots and taken out that secondary. But more worried about killing this frickin' VFM. So, I'll come over here and just be an asshole and get in their fight. And yes, I'm tracked, but oh well. If I have my repair kit now, it'll repair me, but I don't want to. I would rather take the death and respawn.
We just got intel that enemy reinforcements are incoming. They may burn the place down instead of letting
with that repair kit, I could actually respawn in this mode. So, and I get full ammo again too. So, while I'm not full health, I have full ammo, and that's one thing that does come in handy is having full ammo. And now I have my gunner back too, and reload speeds are going to be back to normal again. Alright, warrior.
Identify target.
Hostile tank. Damn it, object down.
They nailed us.
Turret ring, damn it.
This is where it's nice to actually have some teamwork.
Damn it, turret stuck.
Turret stuck, lovely. Alright. So now I'm out for good. Because the team actually sucked ass this time. They were late getting on Cap, more worried about doing progressive kills. You know, I could have done things differently. Instead of being a jerk and actually running up here and getting up in the front. But you can see the Ramco. He's not actually doing enough damage to really account for anything. He's going to get the kills, but he's not going to be doing as much damage. So if you're okay with just pecking at something to try to get the damage, then go right ahead. We're not going to get the secondary because nobody went after the trucks. The lightest tank, which should have been the BMD, should have gone after the secondaries and focused primarily on them. Instead, you know, he tried to get out there and brawl like everybody else did, and try to brawl with the main battle tanks, and he got his ass kicked. So that's a failure on his part. That person should have gone after the secondaries to at least secure that and get those bonus points. The Ramco 99 would have been secondary to go after the because it's actually listed as a tank destroyer. It's not actually listed as a main battle tank. So it should have gone after the secondaries if the only light vehicles did not get it. It's people not thinking about their team and the overall victory, thinking about their own points and their own kills. And Dum Dum just rammed into a vehicle and lost his tracks. Now he's sitting there with a Challenger right there next to him, and not going to end well for him. Dumb ass. Miss Mystery. Well, yeah, in theory they got more kills than me, but whatever, and that's because they're doing mop-up kills. Challenger 1 is actually playing relatively smart.
Black Company, abort Bravo, proceed to Alpha.
But he's got to make the hits. You know, the enemy is still in the other cap circle. They got to be taken out. M62,000 on the enemy team. I haven't seen that before. It's easier just to give commentary on replays or while watching another battle. So we lost our secondary here because the BMD did not go after them, and they should have. And the Ramka 99 should have gone after them because the BMD did not. So that's a failure on both of them to monopolize on secondary. If you're in a light vehicle, know your place, know your role. You don't need to scout. Light tanks are not scouts, okay? Light tanks are fast and maneuverable. You can cover more ground a lot faster. So therefore, use your speed and maneuverability, knock out those secondaries, get it over with.
Good work, Black Company.
Okay?
Hold your position and wait.
You are still useful in the fight. You're just not a slugger like the main battle tanks are. Is it all about the main battle tanks? No. I've gotten into battles where there were no main battle tanks, and we still dominated. Play your vehicle smart and to your ability and its ability. But use your speed and maneuverability to reserve your lighter tank for taking out those secondaries and getting those accomplished for your team, and then get back into the fray. You're going to do fine. You're going to get points. You're going to get credits. You're not, I mean, I did crap, and you know, I still ended up with a standard account. If I had a premium account, I would have done a hell of a lot better, but still made almost 4,800 experience and over 41,000 credits. Not bad. I could have done a hell of a lot more. I just more worried about talking. So I'm going to skip through a couple more tanks and see if anybody can pick out the one common denominator between all of these tanks. I'm not going to mention anything, and no, it's not the color, and it's not just that the majority of them have a sticker on the side, like clan sticker there, or additional sticker here, or the German flag with the Oktoberfest girl on it. But I'm going to scroll through my tanks here and let you see if you can come up with anything that's common between them. Now, I did notice there was a couple of them that didn't have it, but I will fix that problem later. That one doesn't. So that should be good enough to let you figure it out. So, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a break here, and I'm going to go ahead and set up another account, and I'm going to come back in so you can actually get a fair shake at looking at this game instead of going and watching somebody who's got a tier 10 already. Oh, well, this is what you can do if you've got a tier 10. Well, screw that. If you're new to the game, you want to play the game, you want to see what it's like to actually... Oh, how hard is it without me? I'm a cheap bastard, and I can't afford to throw money at games all the time. So, if you want to play the game free to play, no premium content, no premium whatevers, just as if you were brand new to the game. And I will actually stream that later this evening to give everybody an idea of what it's like to play this game from the beginning with no premium content whatsoever. It's not fair to demonstrate a game and show, well, this is what you can do, and I'm out here playing with a tier 10, or I'm playing with a tier 7 premium tank. This thing is freaking... This is badass right here. This T80U. Oh, I love this tank. It is a lot of fun. It is agile. It can take hits. It can dish them out. It's a lot of fun to play with. But it wouldn't be fair for me to show you gameplay with this when you can't get this. You cannot get your hands on this tank anymore. There's no way for you to actually get it. And it would kind of be pointless. So that's why I wanted to go ahead and play with a brand new account and show from the ground up, from level 1 up, what it's like to actually play the game without actually having any, well, I have experience with the game, but to get your feet wet, jump in, and actually play. Your vehicles you're going to get stuck with is all going to be Tier 1. So starting off with, you're going to deal with the M41 Walker Bulldog, the PT-76, the Type 62, and these are better tanks for Tier 1 than what was there whenever I first started playing the game. When I first started playing the game, what we had was a really nerfed down version of the M113 ACAV, the PT-76, and then there was I think the M41 Walker Bulldog. And hell, if you got to choose between a starting tank, really the Walker Bulldog was the only real choice that people looked at because, well, hell, it looks like a damn tank. Well, that's similar to a tank. It has a turret. Yeah, but yeah, it can't hold up. Your other option was that M113 ACAV, which it's actually a higher tier now. It's actually a decent vehicle to play. It's better now than it was back then when I first started playing, but it's actually not bad. But if you look at this, why would you want to play that? That doesn't look like a damn tank. Looks like a cracker box with an airsoft gun on top. It's actually good. It's fun to play with. So, yeah. I will get everything all set up. I won't actually log into the game the first time. I'm going to get everything set up, get the account set, and I'm going to go ahead and log in and just go from there. So, I'm going to quickly exit the game. And screen will probably go black for just a moment here, guys, while I change scenes. Alright, you guys should see my desktop now. Alright, the my.com is where you go to. Game Center, my.com. You can see the icon here. Where in the hell is the launcher? It closed the whole friggin' launcher up. Alright, so you double click on it and you'll have something very similar to this right here. So, and it will actually show a lot of different things here. I'm actually going to not show it because it has personal information on it. Well, my real name. It's not like it's real heavy duty personal. But I can actually change users, so that's what I'm going to do. So I will get set up and run a new user on this, and we'll check it out here in a little while. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll be back shortly.